There are a lot of mistakes you can make when learning kickflips. The worst one is flicking down, because when you flick down, your front foot gets below the board, which makes it really hard to get it back on top of it before you hit the ground. Which, if you are doing this, don't worry about it too much, because you can fix it. It just might take a little while because you have to reprogram your leg to flick out instead of down. And to do that, stand on the tail with your back foot and then take your front foot and practice sliding your front foot up towards the nose and then retracting your ankle muscles. And the reason why you want to do that is because if you just flop your foot off the edge of the board, it's not going to spin nearly as fast if you use your ankle muscles to help you out. Once you think you fixed your flicking problem, something that helps out a lot actually is trying to do a kickflip but only land with your front foot, because this will not only show you how the flick actually works and what it feels like to do it, but it'll also show you where you need to flick your foot off the nose to make the kickflip actually happen. Now for the back foot. 9 times out of 10 when the back foot doesn't make it back on the board, it's a commitment issue, except there is a small possibility that it is something else, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, stop trying kickflips. Instead, try doing a half a flip, focusing on getting both your feet on the bottom of the board so you can get used to the board flipping under you a little bit, as well as it's just a big confidence booster to get both your feet on the board, even if it is on the bottom. Once you can consistently land with both your feet on the bottom of the board, you can go one of 2 ways. 1, try a kickflip, or 2, something that I think is a little bit easier, is to try to do a kickflip but with just the deck. But since the wheels and trucks aren't on there, it's obviously lighter, but since you're on the ground, it's a lot more stable because you can't rock back and forth because there are no trucks to do that, and you can't roll either because there's no wheels. But if you do try this, do a couple ollies first to get used to the timing, because it is going to be different since you're a lot closer to the ground now versus your regular board. If you haven't noticed yet, your board sometimes thinks it's a bird and tries to fly away from you, and the most common reason for that is that your front foot's confused. And what I mean by that is you're trying to do a kickflip and your foot's still trying to do an ollie, so what ends up happening is this kind of in-between thing where your board just flies away. So to fix that, you just have to practice sliding your front foot up and flicking off the nose more. Or something else that could be happening as well is you have too much weight on your back foot, so when you try to do a kickflip, it just kind of flies out in front of you. And to fix that, what I do is I just try to focus on staying centered, 50% of my weight on my front foot and 50% of my weight on my back foot at all times, and it helps out a lot, and not just with kickflips either. Ghost flicking sounds really cool, but it's actually not. What that is when you try to do a kickflip and you miss your board, so your front foot just kind of goes this way and nothing happens. And something you can try to fix that is moving your front foot more towards the toe side part of the tail, so that when you pop, the board twists up a little bit and it makes it easier for your front foot to catch and make the flip happen. Or it could also be that the timing between your pop and your flick is off, so if that doesn't work, try popping your tail and then sliding your front foot up and flicking off the nose some more. Lastly, the board not flipping enough happens a lot, and there are a few different things you can try to fix that. The first one is try moving your front foot position, because when you move your front foot back more towards the center of the board and have less of your foot on there, it does flip faster. Also, if you haven't tried it yet, try moving your back foot more towards the toe side part of the tail, so when you pop, the board twists up like we talked about earlier, and it makes it easier for your front foot to catch, and it also makes it spin faster. And something else it helps me with is getting a better pop, because my board stays a little bit more flat since I have my front foot kind of on the heel side and my back foot kind of on the toe side. It levels out. But if you have any questions or problems about kickflips, leave it in a comment down below and I'll do my best to try to help you figure them out so you can kickflip too. And I'll see you later. Sayonara.